Hello everybody, it's Bill's that college football guy here. Another video. I normally would bring up the NCAA news stuff within the Fifth Down show, but there's a lot that happened. So rather than adding that on, because after last week's video was like 50 minutes long, I figured maybe we ought to trim this down a little bit and do a little something in the middle of the week. So this is, you see NCAA video about the transfer portal, 2 changes to it. The gift at Stanford and betting. We'll get into it. Okay, first off, the tantalizing one, the one you want to hear about, don't bury the lead. NCAA finally announced the new changes to the transfer portal. The fact that there'll be one window from January 2nd to January 16th. I have said what I thought should be done regarding athletics, that I've said the fact, and I put this on my neck. You want to solve the problem with the NCAA transfer window and everything else, make week 0, week 1. As soon as the conference championship game is over, the playoffs start the following week. No breaks. That way, the national championship game will get done. You want to wait for the Army Navy game, you want to wait a week, fine, whatever. But either way, the national championship game gets done on New Year's Day. January 2nd is the portal. That's how it should be done. Obviously, it's not. But that's going to be the window. It's going to be a second, January 2nd to 16th. There's players saying, we're going to sue. We need 2 windows. And the argument's going to be, are you better than the NFL? There's only one period of free agency in the NFL. You say you're professionals? Act like it. They only get 1 window, so do you. So 1 window, I get it. This change, the next one here, I think is possibly going to get the lawsuits over. And that was previously, like we had with Mike Gundy getting fired and other coaches that have been fired, where a head coach is fired, the transfer portal opens up for that university and every player is immediately eligible to move into the portal in a 30-day window. All of them are immediately eligible. That has changed. Everybody that has already gone through on this change is, if everything's correct here, it's supposedly, 1, it's approved, 2, it's effective immediately. So everybody who already has a 30-day window, it doesn't affect them. Any coach from this point forward who gets canned, that window doesn't apply anymore. Rule was, coach is fired, immediate 30-day window. Now, you're not immediately eligible. And it's a 15-day window, and it's after the new coach a new head coach has either been hired or named, which means an interim head coach also qualifies. We fired him, we named the interim head coach. 15 days from the day the interim head coach is named. You don't get 30, you get 15. They want to try to cut down the portal moves during the season. Which, okay. They don't allow that in the NFL. If a coach is fired, you're under contract, which is, I think, what's eventually going to happen is college doesn't want players to become employees. Make them employees. I'm in the total opposite. Make them employees. Put them under contract. Put the players under contract. You're in an NIL deal? No. You're on revenue sharing? You're under a deal. I only want to, which also means for the most part, the transfer portal would be dead, wouldn't it? I'm under a 4-year contract I signed with Ohio State. Or not Ohio State, excuse me. Kansas. And I got offered money to go to Ohio State. Well, problem is, you can't leave to go to Ohio State. You're under a 4-year deal. You can't, if you sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers and you get offered to go to San Francisco, you can't leave middle of your contract. You have to wait till your contract's over. Well, I will demand a trade. How many times has that worked? In the NFL, it doesn't work. I think they probably would allow a collegiate option, allow you to buy out your contract. You want to leave? Okay. You're under a deal for 4 years for $1 million a year. You got 3 years left on your deal, 60% buyout, give the university $1.8 million and you can walk. And you have to pay the money before you talk to anybody, or it's tampering. And you're automatically ineligible for the season because you talked to somebody before your deal was closed. That might change a few things. Cause a few more lawsuits. We're getting this. It's just the inevitable is coming, folks. Either players want to get employed and get paid benefits, but they're asking for better benefits in the NFL, and the NFL is getting ready to almost side with the NCAA against the collegiate athletes because they don't want them sticking in college that long. I think that benefit might be the NFL and the NCAA might have to come together and create a developmental league G League, the NBA, Development League, maybe agrees to with the UFL. Everybody signs term contract employment for 5 years in college. You want to play more than that? You're a university player on the G League thing, and like Diego Pavia or any other guys are in 6 years. Guess what? You're going to go down the G League and play. You already got your 5-year contract. You still can get money, but you're playing here. You're not playing in college anymore. You're still getting paid. Maybe more money. That might be the way to get around this. We got to do something, folks. But anyway, like I said, that coaching change now with the head coach being named. The one thing also came out, the fact, players are not allowed to bet. Wrong. Proposal, the Division I Administrative Council preliminarily approved a bill that allowed athletes to make sports wagering. But the problem is it's not official yet, because Division II and Division III have to sign off on it. As far as I know, according to this time of recording of this video, they have not. So that might be changing a few things. And so I did my little tirade in this band for on this. And the one thing others, people have been saying, I've been saying the fact Stanford's spending money on athletics, they're going to have more private donations. There are people all everywhere, Immaculate on X bunch. I'm saying that universities are spending more money on athletics if it's worthwhile. They'll be spending more money to make collegiate athletics work. Stanford got a $50 million donation specifically to the Stanford football program. Okay, first off, the donation was made by former Stanford player Bradford Freeman, graduated from Stanford in 1964. This dude's got money. In 1983, he and fellow Stanford alum Ron Spogli co-founded a private equity firm named Freeman, Spogli and Company. Bradford Freeman also created the endowment for the Stanford head coaching job that pays for the Stanford head coach's salary. He created that. Dude's got money. He was on the Stanford board of directors for a decade. 2005, he and Spogli jointly donated $50 million to endow the Freeman Spogli Institute for International Studies. He's been financially a part of Stanford for a long time. Now he's directly putting money into the football program. He's donated for the endowment for the head coach, the endowment, university. More larger donors are going to be doing this with more universities. Some of the other ones are going to be doing things here. But so he's not new to donating to Stanford. He's been donating to Stanford he's been in private equity since 83. 40 years, over 40 years. 2028 will be 45 years. Donating money for the university, he's going to continue to do so. He's co-owns a private equity firm. I mean, come on, really? You're going to see more and more of this in more universities. And I'm hearing the one thing, here's the one thing I'm going to say. Eventually, there's going to come a point with NIL that there's going to be regulation. Full regulation. Meaning the fact that it's not 95% of all deals in NIL are legit, but there's a 5% small group that are handing out NIL deals to players. None of them are really major name players. Not that I've heard of. A lot of them are classified mid-tier to lower tier who are getting deals for NIL deal because they feel they're getting donations from donors, and basically what it is they're getting NIL payments, but it's not from any reputable company. It's for I still think that the collectives are going to, there's going to be a backlash and court-wise, and the collectives are going to go away. Because my whole attitude is this. So in order for NIL agreement to be legal, it's like an endorsement deal. And you have to have assets to justify it. Because in the NFL, you get an NIL deal, they check the company out to verify you actually have the assets and the profits to actually afford this. Or they recommend you don't do the deal because there could be illegal activity going on. RICO. A couple of things that were done in the past were criminal allegations for money laundering and things and a couple of players allegedly in endorsement deals way back when that never happened, and later on that came out later, like years later after it happened. Player turned it down, and for a good reason, because the Players Association did their due diligence. I think there needs to be due diligence done on this. Hold on. I gotta palm the phone. No, I had something pop on the phone. I want to take the damn thing off. You got palm. Deal with it. That sounded bad. Anyway, that eventually that's going to be changing. I think eventually it's going to come down to the fact that you, like a collective, doesn't earn revenue. It's donations. Are you a nonprofit? No. So you're giving out $15 million in NIL deals, but you only generate $200 million in revenue, $200,000 a year in revenue. Players become employees. That's not going to be possible anymore. You're going to have to be legit, which some of the NIL will go away. Not the big money deals, because the big money deals, like, I remember Bryce Young, everybody's talking about, Bryce Young got NIL deals. Yeah, they got one with, was it Coca-Cola, Mercedes-Benz, and somebody else. He got $1 million deals with brands. Players are doing the same thing now. Furniture deals. I mean, the thing, like, I think some of the stuff that happened with, like, Nico, where he had a deal with a furniture store in Knoxville and was to show up to do autographs and get paid money for it. He got paid for it, but he didn't want to show up, and his dad threatened to sue whatever, sue the thing if they didn't drop him. He didn't have to do appearance. No show money. That's what's alleged. I have a tendency to believe it because he's pissed off about it. That he paid money to get this guy to show up for a store opening, to sign autographs for his customers, and he never showed up. He got paid for it, but never showed. Maybe it's time to start suing players for doing this. Y'all want to be big boys? Y'all want to be grown? Grown folk complications. You show a job, you get sued to get the money back. I think it's time that starts happening. And eventually, I think that's what will happen. Breach of contract. Lawsuits. This time the players being sued because they did not complete their end of the deal. I think that's in the room. But I've done enough talking about this here. Let me know what you think about all this down in the comments. So again, thanks everybody for watching. I like I said, I would have done this like a little bit on there because this is quite a bit to talk about. And I thought maybe just do a little quick standalone video for it. We got the stories of week 7. It comes out tomorrow. And we still got to finish up the vote. The voting on X finished. YouTube's still up for a little bit. I'm going to keep that going. I got to do, those who are following me on the community post or on X or whatever know the fact that because of a trailer I was driving, supposed to pick up in Laredo, supposed to have been there in the yard in Laredo, the drop yard, at 5 p.m. from Mexico. 5 p.m. Technically supposed to have been there at 3. I was arriving. Actually, I didn't get there till 7. Supposed to have already been there. Trailer didn't show up till almost 6 p.m. supposed to be there on Monday. 6 p.m. on Tuesday, it showed up. So knowing the fact that I hadn't even gotten close to the border yet, I slept. I already, you go and sleep for the night. Now, I got to try to get some sleep during the day because I'm driving all night. And I did. And I'm old, folks. I'm old over here. I'm an old man. I'm an old man. You whippersnappers don't understand. I'm just an old man over here. But old man here can't do nights anymore, so I had to get a little 5-hour energy and whatnot to help me get through it. But yeah, I literally slept, lights on, everything on here, had everything blacked out, the blackout curtains up, everything in the back. I was out, and a little bit of sunlight came in, and I slept 4 hours and woke up because I'm up for the day. I'm supposed to be up during the day. I sleep better at night. I don't sleep during the day. I did that when I was in my early 20s. Did a decade of working graveyard, and I thought that was the thing to do. And I got to start working days, and I realized that's where I needed to be. My body clock didn't like it but anyway. Yeah, so I'm literally right now recording this video in the early afternoon, and about 6 o'clock tonight. This video is going to be out before I even leave. Actually, no, I'll probably leave about 5:30. It'll probably upload about the time I hit the road. I'm going to be driving nights the last 9 hours to get to Nashville to drop the trailer off there, and then go spend the night in the yard there, and about 2, 3 in the morning, probably 2, 3 in the morning, and then do a 10-hour break. Wake up noon, 1 o'clock. Well, I'll probably get before then. Drive a little bit before I get back on Friday, because more fun stuff to do. So, a couple of you asked about that private message, direct and private messages and whatnot. So he asked me to address it. Okay, why are you driving? I explained it. Okay. So anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Hope everybody's having a great day today. If you want to do me a favor, smash the like button, hit the thumbs up. Would appreciate it. Comment on the video. I don't know if the betting thing is going to get approved or not. I don't know. The transfer window, it's limiting it to one window. I think they'll get approved. They won't get that many lawsuits on that. They can fight that one because the NFL only has one window. Why should you get two? You're not special. But the coaching change one, I'm wondering if that's going to get pushed back during the offseason. I'm wondering if that's going to get pushed back. Now, if they would have eliminated it completely, yeah, lawsuits galore. Shrinking it to 15 only after the new coach's name. I mean, literally, you could fire the head coach and then aim a new interim head coach 3 years later. The 15-day window starts. It's not like it's a huge opening. We're not asking about you hire an interim coach for the rest of the season and then the full-term coach is hired. No. It's after the interim. It's after a coach is named, announced, after the head coach is announced. Interim, as far as I know, counts. So it's literally like you do the announcement and then you wait 2-3 days and announce the interim head coach. Or it could be the same day. So does it really change anything? It's just basically, it's just saying that thing after it's announced. You may wait a day or two. Okay. Is interim head coach qualified or is it full contract? And is it interim head coach? That's one thing that was not fully clear. Is it interim head coach? Or is it a contracted head coach? Because the problem is, an interim head coach is contracted for the job and gets a raise to do it, so it still qualifies. So I was thinking interim qualifies, but it's the same thing. It's just not as fancy as a 4-year deal. You're in an interim deal and you're auditioning for the job. You're still getting paid like it, so you're going to get a pay raise for doing it. Like Jerry Neuheisel got a raise to be offensive coordinator, got carried off the field, which was surreal watching that one. That was crazy. But at UCLA. But yeah, let me know what you think about all these, the transfers, the rules, the coaching changes, everything else. Down in the comments. Share the video if you want to. Haven't done, check out some of the videos I've already done. If you like them, subscribe to the channel. On the road to 2K, trying to make some magic happen. You want to follow me on X, the link is in the description. Ooh, I just saw the clock. I got to start getting ready here in a little bit. So thanks everybody for watching. Everybody's had a great day. Hopefully this will be uploaded by the time I get done, so it's a little bit later than I thought. So thanks everybody for watching. Have a great day, and please be good to each other.